let's rewind. Let's rewind. We'll watch that chunk again. And if the stream goes out again during that exact same chunk again, then that means that yes, absolutely 100% there is a hole in Antarctica. I I don't want that to be true, guys.
Flyovers of Antarctica,
I don't.
NASA is caught red-handed, obstructing the camera as they pass over Antarctica.
I'm just watching my bitrate so fucking nerd. I'm like sweating. I'm gonna put my hands up too, so you know I'm not touching anything. I'm not like ending the stream on my end. Okay, they close the lid. Turn off the camera. Okay. We made it this time. Maybe that was just a one-off thing.
Then continue watching, because we're going to talk about
but
a lot of things.
This picture doesn't look like anything.
Showing this massive hole at the top of the Earth. So
okay.
For many years, people have believed in this
okay.
hollow Earth theory, although some have said it's just a myth. And there's even been people.
We made it. We made it through the chunk of what was supposed to be, you know. Okay. All right. I need a drink after that, honestly. That scared me.
People out there, scientists who have tried to prove it. And by the way, I will put some links down in the video description to some very interesting articles and websites.
Maybe this is just, you know, they're gonna like occasionally duck my stream to nothing to make me think it's my internet or something.
Pictures were taken by a satellite orbiting Earth that clearly showed a massive hole located at Earth's North Pole. That image you're seeing here, which was actually published in a book that you can't even find today.
Where do you see the hole?
From that book showing this massive hole at the top of the Earth. It's one of the only photos that we have showing this massive hole at the top of our planet. And I mean, look at this thing. We have this odd indentation at the top of Antarctica, right in the center, with what looks like some swirling cloud cover. And it's one of the most devastating images supporting the hollow Earth theory.
It's
just
not
even
clouds.
That. It doesn't even have to be a hollow Earth. It's simply that there is an entrance at the top of our planet that NASA is trying to hide. An entrance to what? I don't know.
It's
so
a
then
portal.
In the 1970s,
there are
the
portals.
ESSA, a project belonging to the Department of Commerce, gave the media access to images of the North Pole taken by the ESSA-7 satellite in November of 1968. And as you'll note, every single satellite image, public image that we have of the North Pole shows in some form or another a massive hole or a blacked out hole put there to hide whatever's underneath. And we also have Google Earth map.
You think they put a big hole on the maps to hide the fact that there's a hole on there? You don't think that this is just like the blind spot of the satellite?
Maps showing obvious photoshopping and blurring, where you will have high-resolution images of the rest of the continent, but when it comes to the direct center of Antarctica, you have nothing but blurred white nothingness.
Like, is every stream gonna be like this now? Because that's gonna make editing a huge pain in my ass. Like, come on. Just let me fucking stream.
That the inner Earth has an inner sun, and that his theory was that the poles of Earth are convex rather than concave, and that ships and planes can actually fly or drive right in. But an interesting thing to note, as you're seeing in these images here, is that the United States government does not allow planes to fly over the poles.
Yeah.
In all of these flight radar maps that you're seeing here, you will notice this circular hole that no plane has ever been allowed to cross over. All flights are directed to go around the poles. And any airline pilot flying into these areas will tell you this. And it's also been stated that something that's very interesting and odd is the fact that the icebergs coming from and drifting from the poles are actually composed of fresh water and not the usual salt water that you would see in the oceans around the world. Now,
bro, salt water doesn't freeze. That's why the icebergs are made of ice water. Salt water doesn't freeze.
Now, here's another ISS image that has since been taken offline. It's very hard to find. It's from a 1996 space shuttle mission showing this massive indentation at the top of the Earth, as you're seeing here. And it's not just the Earth that is said to have these holes, but every planet in the solar system, from Mars to Saturn. Here's an interesting image of the North Pole of Saturn, which shows this massive, swirling, hexagon-shaped vortex surrounding a massive hole that's near the size of the Earth at the top of Saturn. And we've spoken before about planets and moons around the solar system that show characteristics of being hollow. We've talked about the moon being hollow. We've talked about how the Apollo astronauts said that when they crashed spacecrafts and other objects into the moon, that they would hear the moon, quote, ringing for hours like a bell, and that they would feel these vibrations and reverberations after the object had hit for hours afterwards, and that they would feel these vibrations from thousands of miles away from the original impact, as if the moon had some sort of hollow inner core that was surrounded by some sort of metallic hull. And we've also talked about Mars and its moon Phobos, which is also believed to be hollow due to its size and odd orbital pattern around Mars. And then we have the Aurora Borealis, which I'm sure you've all heard of, which is said to be lights, which you have your northern lights, and then you have your Aurora Australis, which are your southern lights, which are said to be the result of, quote, electrons colliding with the upper reaches of Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
However, many have stated that these lights in this aurora is actually coming from these massive openings at our poles and directly come from the inner Earth that's inside Earth, or some massive light source that's inside the Earth. And we even have footage showing this aurora spiraling around this opening at the North Pole, as you're seeing in this video here. Now, as you're watching this, you'll notice that this light seems to be directly coming from this opening on... You can even see
it seems to be going into...
footage, and you can see this light swirling around this opening and coming out and going over top the Earth. I mean, the evidence is right here. Now,
you'd have to play it in reverse for
satellite
it to be
footage once again showing this massive hole, which you will see in the form of a white circle, which never seems to change its size or position. So there is just so much evidence leaning toward the possibility that
it's not even a circle, it's a cube.
The famous mathematical genius of the 18th century, Leonhard Euler, concluded that the Earth was hollow, containing a central sun. And Dr. Edmund Halley, who discovered the Halley Comet and was a Royal Astronomer of England, also believed that the Earth was hollow on the inside. We've talked about the Nazi connection, and that there was a map from the Third Reich which showed several secret passages depicted, which were used by German U-boats to access these mysterious underground regions.
Okay.
And then there was the case of Karl Unger, who was a crew member aboard a German U-boat, who wrote letters stating that the crew had reached the interior of the Earth and that they did not consider coming back. So again, there's a lot of information, and just recently there were found what looked to be a giant pyramid.
Those are in Alaska.
Which you're seeing in these
not
images
Antarctica.
Here.
That's
in Alaska. You can actually find this on Google Earth, which we will put the link to also down in the video description. And as you're
2015. Oh boy, I sure hope it's in at least 480p. Well, it is. It's zoomed in pretty far, but it is. Very interesting that my stream seems to go down at least once per SecureTeam 10 video. What is it that makes you think this is a UFO, though? Why would it be off-world? Oh, that's cool. It's like Mothman. It looks like Mothman. Yo, that's so cool. I want to fly this in Elite Dangerous.
Set of images and video that you just saw were captured in New Boston.
This dude has a fucking alien tattoo on his neck. Oh god.
You know,
let's find this channel. Oh. Oh no.
All right, we're live. We're back. I tried to go live a little bit ago.
He is the alien.
You know, it was just a terrible time for my dealer to show up. Just at the, you know, just wrong, wrong time. So,
you're what dealer? You're fucking heroin dealer?
You know, I should have, you know, remembered my my plans, but you know, shit happens.
Shit happens.
Real world. And in the real world, your dealer doesn't want to be live on YouTube, so I can't blame them. But we're back.
Has this guy not uploaded in 5 years? Okay. Okay, his hair is less insane. Okay. Alright, let's take a peek at this. Okay, thank you.
And if I got a special episode for you guys today, because today I have discovered S-4 base in Area 51 on Google Maps. The actual
How many UFO tattoos do you have?
Not only have I found it, but Google admits that this place is S-4 because they actually label it. So let's take a look, you guys. All right, so here you can see we are at Area 51. This is the Area 51 base. This is off the Groom Lake bed. There you can see the base right there. Okay. And if you follow it around, that is the Papoose mountain range right there. Okay. And there is the Papoose lake bed. You can see it labeled the Papoose lake. That's the dry lake bed. So everyone was always looking on this side of it, right over here. This is where everyone looks. One guy made a video showing some lines on the mountain that he believed were the doors, even though it was just him putting some lines on there. Okay. It wasn't the doors or anything. So I was like, that's where everyone always looks for, because that's the way they assume it's going to be. But it's actually not. If you look at one of the drawings, it's actually by some rocky mountains of, some kind of granite or something like that. That's where the hangar doors were built. So I looked on the opposite side towards these rocky mountains that are over here, and wrote up here, I found it. And look at this. Google actually has it labeled S-4 Research Facility. S-4 High Ridge Research Facility. That is...
You know what that means? That means that some fucking dumbass, like special ops, whatever the fuck, like military guy went here, and then his phone auto-prompted him like, what is this location? And he was like, oh, this is the S-4 research facility. And then Google fucking auto-uploaded it.
The government research facility. That is the mountain in the backdrop, just like the artist rendering. This is the S-4 base where Bob Lazar worked at. And it is right there by Google. This is fucking amazing. I don't know how this has been passed up for so long, but I mean, on a hunch, I decided to go on the opposite side and look, and sure enough, there the fuck it was, just like Bob Lazar said. So the S-4 base does exist right next to the mountain, just like he said. I think one of the problems is that everyone was thinking that the base was on the mountains that were right next to the dry lake bed, like right outside of it was the dry lake because of some of his descriptions. But that is in fact wrong. It wasn't directly on it. See, that's the problem. That's why everyone thinks it was right on the lake bed. It wasn't. The lake bed is obviously like a mile or two away from it, but it was deep up here in the mountains. I mean, and it's perfect to, like, the artist rendering, like, he did a good job at describing what it looked like, because this is exactly the drawing that he had made for it. This is just like it. From big to small in this kind of, stacking formation. But what's even better,
I kind of need to see that from a different angle, buddy.
If you look at the concrete slab that's out in front of the hangar doors, you will see a grid.
Kind of need to see that at a different angle.
And if you look closely,
I don't think you really understand how perspective works.
There is a grid pattern directly in front of the hangar doors. Just like the concrete pad that we see here. You see the exact same grid pattern directly in front of the hangar doors, right by the mountain or the cliff or whatever that goes from high to small. Or from tall to little.
There is a grid pattern right there. I will give you that.
Basically, everything about it. And some people are going to try to claim that they can't see the grid pattern on there. I'm sorry. That's just people who are just blind then, because it is clearly there. The grid pattern is clearly there. And to show you guys something else, another piece of evidence, this is a photo of an actual hangar bay where they keep aircraft. Now, as you can see, this photo is 100% authentic. These are real United States Air Force flying saucers.
Are you sure?
That's being piloted by the Anunnaki.
As you can see, this is a real, totally for real, not Photoshop didn't exist and doesn't exist. This is totally real for real.
Who are defending us from the draconian lizard people from the movie V. I mean, not movie, but documentary. That exposed the truth about the aliens coming here to steal our women and our gold.
Yes.
And thank God we got these guys on our side. And if you believed any of that, please do us all a favor and don't procreate. That means have sex. No, but for real.
What?
Obviously, we got these guys on our side. And if you believed any of that, please do us all a favor and don't procreate.
Okay, he's joking.
That means have
he
sex.
Doesn't believe in the lizard people.
No, but for real. Obviously, this is a Photoshopped picture.
Thank you. I was really worried.
But that is